So this will serve as sort of the first of two formal tests I do on this console before I get it to sell. Well, I guess a couple comments. I do say formal because this console works perfectly fine. I played on the base console before I reshelled it. All the buttons work, shoulder buttons, I guess it would be the D-pad, these two buttons down here, plus minus. All of those worked perfectly fine. I replaced both of the thumbsticks with GUI-Kit TMR sticks, and also as well as the digitizer. Now, I've been playing Breath of the Wild recently, so not much digitizer action, but I've maybe put, I don't know, half an hour into this, and it's been fine. I really would be very surprised if the GUI-Kit TMRs just miraculously failed. So I'm trusting that they will work. Of course, I'm going to want to play on this a little more. I'll just do that off screen. That's not really all that interesting. But what I wanted to do is just run through all of the systems, just give them a quick just verification that they all still work as expected. Before I get too crazy, I do need to fix a problem I noticed. The power button, it feel like when I installed it, I was fairly positive I installed it correctly. However, it feels like it's jammed. So there's no actual like responsiveness when I click it in. It's just Oh, okay. My screwdriver was making a rattling sound, and it sounded like it was I the console was on and it was just flipping through the menus. I'm like, I thought for sure I turned that thing off. So let me take it off. And also for the record, I did move the serial number from the original shell. I put it on the heat shield because just the way this shell is, it's very smooth. So when I put it down, whichever side it was, I could just push it off. Like either the sticker wasn't tacky enough because I unstuck it, which is, I suppose, is true, or it's just because of this texture. It's just extremely smooth. But so far, I've been very pleased with this Extreme Rate shell. These are definitely shell kits I will buy again. I mean, I'm eyeballing another kit for another DS Lite. I mean, you can see the bits of the DS Lite up there. The mid-frame and the motherboard. I just took it apart to clean it. And that one had an unfortunate run-in with children. The vile creatures of the earth. I mean, it found paint and cow stickers, so definitely not the worst shape, but sure could have been a whole hell of a lot better. So I'll have to eyeball some Extreme Rate kits and see kind of what I want to do. I don't know if I'll do clear again, because at least on that console's case, those buttons were okay, and I think I might be able to reuse them. I'll make that assessment once they're all nice and dry and I can really look at them. But if they're damaged at all, then it's just new shell kit all around. I mean, it only costs a couple extra dollars more to get a full shell kit. I am kind of limited on my options. Like this crystal clear was just wonderful, but it's only one of a few shell kits I have access to that has the whole button kit along with it, or else I have to spend an additional amount of money to get the buttons independently if I wanted to mix and match, which I don't really want to. So, serial number right there. I think that's just going to be the easiest place. I don't think it's going to come to any harm. I mean, it might get warm, but it shouldn't harm it. So this button's behaving like I put it in upside down. And unlike the normal Switch Lite, I can't see the printing on it very well. Like, I think they have the little icon for the power button, but I couldn't see it. So I thought this button only went on one way. I might need to look up a picture of it, because with the Switch Lite, originally with the white buttons, I could tell what the orientation was just based on the little power icon. But since I don't have a power icon, I'm a little lost. I may have just put it in upside down. So I'm just gonna look really quick if there's sort of an orientation of how... Well, the buttons are keyed, and I thought that was gonna be the, like... the dead giveaway. Power button? Just trying to see if I can find an image. Not really, so I guess I'm gonna have to kind of wing it here. I want to be careful not to accidentally scratch the shell. I don't have any plastic tweezers, so I might just have to sort of hand it. So I think I had it up like that. I'm just checking something. Like, I thought it was like this, the way I have it in now, but that might be upside down. Like, I thought it was keyed in like this, so there's really no way, wrong way to do it. Oh. Wow. Yeah, my best understanding is it goes like this. Maybe it like twisted when I was putting in the shell. Maybe my problem was the membrane wasn't tucking in very well. Did I put the... Yeah, and this one is obviously keyed. It can only go in this way. Oh, it probably would help if I put the membrane in right. I mean, I wonder if sticking in the buttons first would help. So like even in the membrane here, you can see that the buttons kind of key themselves. They sort of fit in that recess. There's like an upside down L bit sticking there, and then there's a little wing right there. So that is the way they should sit. I'm fairly positive that's how I had it sit. Now, push it onto these little posts. Just kind of a nice addition. It holds them in place. Okay, let's try that. I'd be a little disappointed if that doesn't work, because I really don't know what else to do in that regard. Just gonna have to be kind of careful with how I... Like, maybe when I was sliding it on, it sort of pushed the membrane off alignment or something. That feels a lot better. Okay, perfect. That must have been just maybe just something the membrane may have bound up or something, or maybe I just put it in upside down, if that's even possible. Let's get it back fully together. I don't exactly like doing this multiple times, taking this shell apart. I really don't want to strip any of these screw posts. Making sure the shell is all nice and together. Okay. To magnetize this. I think I said this the last time I took it off. When I moved the serial number. So I want to keep the original serial number with it, but there's really not a good place to put it. That was sort of my compromise, so I could still sort of make out the figures, or the numbers, without it sort of being out of place. It kind of looks like it belongs there. Would I have liked to have put it in its original spot? Certainly, but that's not necessarily an option unless I like sand down the area and glue it. Which I am not. That's too. I would rather throw the serial number away at that point. Okay, all three of the tri-wings are in. Alright. What I'm trying to do is I'm backing the screw out, or I'm turning left until I feel either feel or hear the screw sort of click. Just so I can re-screw into the threads I cut. These ones are not as... or that one I did wasn't very generous. There, this one popped. Because if I try to cut new threads and threads that were already cut, that's just going to strip it out. Don't ask me how I know. And what's odd is I only really have that problem with third-party parts. I mean, you don't want to do it on original parts either, but original parts tend, at least for the Nintendo DS, are a lot more robust. I mean, there are a couple small, this really small screw posts can be stripped out pretty easily, because there's really not much threads to those screws to begin with. There goes. Skipped. That's not a good sign. Okay, it at least still has a click to it, where before you would basically press it and you wouldn't really feel, you wouldn't have any like physical feedback. It would just be a press. I'm just worried that it's actually jammed down. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Because when I screwed in that screw, it like jammed down the button. It should not do that. Wonder if I'm like positive. I'm pretty sure it's just falling asleep, but it's making me a little jumpy. Like I am positive that I put it in correctly. Like there's no other way to put that power button in. And now it's not jammed, so I can actually feel it. It feels a lot more recessed, I would say, the power button generally, which I suppose you could view as a good thing. You don't accidentally hit it, but it's a little harder to actually, I mean, if you have a fat, meaty thumb, you can kind of get in there. It feels a little different than the normal recess of a Switch Lite. So, I guess without further ado, let's do a test, I guess. I'm kind of making this up as I go along since I'm used to Nintendo DS's, which have some very specific problems I test for. The Switch, however, I mean, Nintendo has built-in applications, so thankfully it makes a lot of this very easy. I don't have to run homebrew applications just to test buttons, of all things. But I also don't... I kind of have a sense of what's up with these consoles. Like sometimes like maybe the shoulder buttons go bad. The sticks, of course, are a major failure point. But I swapped those out, so those shouldn't be a problem, assuming these aren't faulty, which I don't think they are. So I'll just test out the face buttons. Two shoulder buttons. I'll kind of press the shoulder button all over it. It's a pretty big shoulder button. It is responding every single time. D-pad. Screenshot. Minus button. So this is to say Nintendo is making my job way too easy. Then the touchscreen. This is a brand new digitizer. Oh. And it has a dead zone. Right down here. So it's a little hard to see based on this. Well, that's fantastic. This could be an artifact of the tempered glass. Oh, look, I just drew right through it. Or this could just be this touch tester is just really strange. Yeah, I just drew through it again. I mean, it's okay. It's possible I haven't done many touch inputs on this console, so maybe it's the tempered glass wasn't settled. I mean, it's back again. I don't really understand. So it's like right there, my input is dropped. I'm not entirely sure why. Because right there, look, it caught it. Maybe it's like right on the edge of the screen that it's not catching it. But even then, I'm dropping inputs right there. But then I drew through it again, so it's not... Yeah, I just drew through it again. I'm wondering if I have a game that's good for touch. Anything that, like, drawing. Where are my games? They're over here. Should I add like a... Let's see. Zelda, Metroid, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade Chronicles. A keyboard? That might show me. I'll get to that in a second. Let me test these sticks again. These are, of course, again, brand new TMR sticks. I'm kind of... I do full inputs and then I slowly release. That's kind of when I've been able to detect if a stick has drift. If you slowly revert the center and then let go, if it still hangs on to an input, but that's good. Like, I know one of my Xbox controllers has a very slight drift on the right thumbstick, where if it's actually the right direction on the right thumbstick, where if I let go very slowly, it will sit like right there. And then my character will just slowly start the turn. At first I thought it was like a weird cinematic effect. Like, oh, look at that. Taking over my camera. No, it wasn't that. Where it's so easy. Calibrate motion controls. I don't think I've ever actually done this. I don't think I need to worry about this because I didn't do anything to the geometry of this console to impact the motion controls. Stylus. Oh, interesting. Touchscreen sensitivity stylus. So, where is said stylus? I should have a DS one nearby. I need to be careful with this. This is the screen of my other Switch console that I do not want to get scratched. Well, somewhere in my pile of stuff. I mean, I can use a plastic pry tool. It has a tempered glass screen. Oh, I'm wondering if it's like one of those like fat nub. Yeah, look at that. I'm drawing through it. It's like maybe right there, right at like the very bottom of the touch, and then I drew through it again. I don't know. This is very inconsistent. I kind of wish there was a way to like... I'm able to get all... there's no inputs down here I can test, but... It's responding to all the inputs. Yeah, I don't... I might have to check when I get this other Switch together, I'm just gonna put it back together until I decide what I want to do with it. Put it back together and then sort of have it sit until I can get a screw kit. Or not a screw kit, a shell kit. Because that's probably going to take a good week or so, and I don't want to lose any parts. And I also need to test it. So, if it's only like right there, that's dead, I can't imagine that's all that big of a deal, but I need... It's so inconsistent, I can't claim it as a dead zone. Like, I'm trying to think of a way to maybe test that. Like, can I draw on these pictures? Add text, maybe? 111? Yeah, you can see it just like drops my input for a second when I'm moving a text around. I mean, would it really surprise me if these third-party digitizers are kind of crap? No. But it's like right here. It's a vertical line right here that's just... I think that's worth me looking into. I think the only thing I can reasonably try is cleaning the ribbon cable end. That's about the only thing I can think of, which that should be fairly easily accessible. That would mean taking the shell apart again, but this is pretty... because it should be like a really smooth motion all the way around, and then it's just... right when I get to sort of this line right here, my input just drops. It's not just the corner, it's like a straight line up and down. Alright. This test is getting a little more interesting than I was hoping for. I wanted this to be a little more bog standard and just say, yeah, it all works, duh. That means removing these screws again. Golly. And then when... yeah. I'll try not to disturb my thermal paste too much. I mean, the digitizer ribbon's right there. I'll maybe flirt with the idea of removing it right there, but if I can't, I don't mind removing the heat shield. My thermal paste is still good, it might just not be where I want it to be, because I released the mounting pressure. I really do hope the digitizer isn't crap. I really hope. Because that is much more difficult to replace than in any console, in any Nintendo console I've had to work on. Like, it's trivial on the Nintendo DS consoles and 3DS. It's trivial. Like, where this, you have to take the entire thing apart. And if you mess up and get pieces of dust underneath it, then you're kind of boned. But I mean, it would give me a second chance at getting that out. Chance for redemption. Okay, put that somewhere safe. Yeah, I don't think I would be able to really manipulate that ribbon cable safely without taking this off. So there are 3 screws, I think? Or was it 4? It's 4 screws. 3 little guys and then a long boy. Try and put them in some semblance of order. And then I'll just rub over it with a cotton swab with rubbing alcohol and just see if that does anything. Alright, I need to get everything magnetized real quick before I keep forgetting and being a pain. That should help. So, I'm sorry, thermal paste. I know you're still good. I'm sorry to disturb you like this. Still good. I might just have, when I put it back on, I can kind of mush it around a little. Okay, I also have to take off the game card slot, which I should be able to do without taking off the heat spreader. These are all the same screws, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about their order. I'm just gonna have to... Like, I should even be able to undo the ribbon cable and sort of slide it from underneath the heat pipe. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm so glad this is modular. I'm so happy. Okay, so now... Let me unplug the battery. That's probably what I should have done before I unplugged that game card slot. I'm really not used to having to worry about this, because at least on DS consoles, the battery is part of the disassembly process. In some cases, you can't even get into the console without removing the battery. I mean, I say that, but I struggle to come up with an example. Either way, the battery would fall out anyway when you remove the rear shell of every DS console, I think. Okay, so let me get some rubbing alcohol on it. I don't think this is going to work, but it's about the only chance I got. Running out of places to put this screen without it being in my way. Okay. Just a little bit of rubbing alcohol should suffice. Just on the off chance. Oh. Rubbed my finger through it. Not as skilled as the iFixit guy, apparently. Or the extreme rate dude. Just did the whole shell swap without cleaning off the thermal paste. Mad lad. Make sure that's nice and dry. Air puffing it a little. That is fully seated. Fully clamped. I mean, I may be able to test it right now, but I don't... I'm going to assume it still doesn't function fully, which is really kind of a bummer. So that would mean I need to get another digitizer. I need a more, like, concrete test. Like, I wish there was a drawing pad application I could get. That's what I'm used to on the DS. I'm gonna have to maybe look into that. And even when I've sort of confirmed it's like a straight line input that's just completely dead. Okay, thinking here, I need to put on the shielding. Or not the shielding, but these screws. Then I need to plug in that cable. And the battery and then that cable. And I mean, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do if the digitizer is truly dead. Well, it's not dead. It's got a dead zone, which I hate. It also has dust underneath it, which I also hate. And this would be a perfect excuse to give it another shot to try and get all the dust out from there. Invest in a clean area. Right, battery to power. Try not to push my finger into the thermal paste again. That all goobered in. I won't put on the back plate before testing the touchscreen again. What should I say? I guess I had higher hopes for that digitizer. The digitizers I get for DS consoles are perfectly fine. They have a strange texture to them, but a screen protector alleviates that. And I mean, you'd want to put on a screen protector anyway, so it's sort of a nice fix in a way. Okay, so let's try that again. Oh, this button right here. I don't really like pressing the actual buttons. Hey, look, it still turns on. Uh-oh, I think I made it worse. I didn't even know that was possible. Yep, it's still right there. There's this vertical line. But for some reason, pressing down harder sometimes works. Like I'm able to draw through it. Is that an artifact of the screen protector? I really would rather not take it off. And this can't be normal. I really refuse to believe that. But like, yeah, even right there, like I'm able to draw lines through it. But it's like right down here. Maybe I can go on the eShop and see if there's like a free app I can download that's just like a sketch pad. Again, I might have to just look into this later. But let me get the back panel on. I don't really like touching the back like this. So really the only thing I'm going to test is the SD card and game card slot to the extent I think is necessary, which I think all I really want to do is just... I mean, I almost don't even need to confirm them because I know they both work. I don't know how much stress testing I need to do to those ports. I also have to go based on the resistance of me screwing it in. See if it finds its threads. Kind of doing this. Oh. Doing this in the different order, but I mean, these have to go on anyway. And the Phillips was the one that was already in my hands. These must not be magnetic screws. It's a bit unfortunate. Okay. I think I still had that SD card kicking around. I don't know where it literally got kicked to. Oh, I think it's right here. My most likely fake 512 gigabyte SD card. I'll force a reboot on my console because it really doesn't like it when SD cards are shoved in. The micro SD card was being used by another Switch console. Oh, the humanity! I just had a screenshot of my menu on it. It might make a unique file for this Switch console. It won't allow me to view the contents of that other Switch. Oh, yes, I will. So that's my button test from another SD card. Let me actually move something a little more tangible, because let's just move over these two Breath of the Wild images. They wouldn't let you board the Bone Horse. Man. What a dumb game. Not gonna like it when I do this. But SD card works. Well, the slot works. That SD card is bad. Has a bad controller. And then for the game. Reads it just fine. Okay, well, I'll probe the eShop, see if I can find a drawing app, but I mean, I think for now I'm kind of stuck on what I would like to do with this console. Worst case scenario is I replace the digitizer again. I don't know if I can look up specifically demos. Oh boy, it's a chuggin'. I wonder if I can just search demo. Um, maybe I should look up specifically art applications and then see if they have a demo. Only to find out that there's a lot of games that have nothing to do with art, but have art in the name. Hogwarts Arts? Oh, gee whiz. Sword Art Online. Oh, God. Rose Art Book. No. Now this is what I'm talking about. Art school. There's not going to be a demo. I know there isn't, because that'd be too easy. I'm not going to pay $12 to get access to an art pad. No demo. Oh, this is definitely like a game, huh? Pixel artist? This would be perfect. Maybe I have a... I'm gonna check my download games. Re-download. To re-download, oh, I need to go to the virtual game cards. I know I remember getting a bunch of, like, cheap games that were, like, pennies a piece. Wonder if any of those are going to be it. I don't know how robust this is. If it's, like, touch the paint. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'll happily paint some dinosaurs as a touchscreen test. I gotta link it with my other Switch? Wait, why can't I load on this system? I have to link it in order to load the... Oh, that's dumb. Okay, I need to figure this out later. I might have to do some mulling on it and kind of see what my other console will be like when I do a touchscreen test on that. But yeah, it's frustrating. But that's just how it is. Good old third-party parts. Some are good, some are just terribly awful. Wildly mediocre. Okay, I think I found an application I can use to test the touchscreen. It's a free demo, so we'll see. Okay, okay, touch the paint. Yeah, look at that. So it's not just a dead line, it's like a dead column. Nothing within here, or everything within here is like barely registering. So this digitizer is just completely borked. Because I can't blame that on the, there's no way I can blame this on the tempered glass screen protector because, I mean... And what's weird is sometimes it registers, like I'm able to clear it, completely draw it in. So I don't know what's wrong. This is, like, it's usually never a... It's usually never a... And then look, it's fine. And then it's not. This is a very strange issue. And this application's only, like, exacerbating it. Making it weirder. Like, now it's not... It's somewhat consistent. But, like, how it's not necessarily a column anymore. And then now it's fine. Oh, I can undo. And then look, this is so strange. Because now it's fine, but down here seemed to be a very consistent dead zone. yeah, I mean, uh, I'll just have to. I know that's not normal. I know it for certain, but I'll wait until I get my other Switch Lite together and just confirm what I already know.